Hey guys, Kiki again, and there goes my cat. Everybody say hi. Bye, Chihiro. Okay then, yes, doing the guest vlogging. This week's topic is talking about, like talking to yourself from 10 years ago, or if you had a letter or message from yourself 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was 22, and words cannot describe how different I was at the age of 22 than I am now. There are people, family members and things that haven't seen me since my early 20s and have seen me in more recent years and have been extremely surprised at my changes in my personality and my lifestyle and things like that. To kind of describe myself at 22, I was an evangelical Christian at the time. It wasn't too long after that I changed, but I was still evangelical Christian at the time. And I had two dreams. One was to be a novelist and to be a stay-at-home mom and get married and everything. And that was the dream, what I was working toward. I also hated myself. I hated being fat. I hated being shy. I hated being antisocial. I also suffered from severe haphophobia, which I still do, actually. It's the fear of being touched. It's not as bad now. It's something that I've worked through, and I'm much better now. But it was severe when I was 22. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't hug my family members. I had no love life because I couldn't touch anyone or allow them to touch me, or I would have severe panic attacks. And this was all caused by, and a lot of the love life issues also was caused by a sexual assault when I was quite young. And yeah, it really fucked me up. I mean, I had a lot of trust issues, but the major thing was the haphophobia. I mean, it even caused problems with doctors, going to see a doctor or something. Just being touched by the doctor freaked me out so much. Yes. So, I also at the time, I'd come to the conclusion I was a lesbian, and that's what I was. I hated men, and a lot of the hatred of men also came from the sexual assault, because I was assaulted by a male. So yeah. And so if my 22-year-old self had met myself now, she would be partially she would be very confused and disappointed, and partially she would be very much in awe. And the parts that she would find very disappointing was the fact that I was still fat and not married and no kids. And yes. And she would be extremely confused on why I'm dating guys now, because I'm technically pansexual, but I refer to myself as queer. And so, yeah, she would also be extremely upset about the whole atheist thing. I'm an atheist, but I do practice Wicca. I used to be a Wiccan through majority of my 20s. Not long after 22, about 23, 24, I converted to Wicca. And yeah, so the whole atheist practicing Wicca thing would be very, very upsetting for 22-year-old me. But the things I think that my 22-year-old self would be totally in awe of is the fact of my haphophobia is mostly manageable at this point. As I said, I mean, I can hug and sit there and with a friend and have my arm around them and not have a panic attack. I can shake hands with total strangers and not have a panic attack. I can have lovers and not have a panic attack. It's been a really hard battle, but it's something that I got through. And at 22, I thought I was going to be this way for the rest of my life, and it was going to be horrible. And it wasn't. And also, my confidence levels, I mean, as I said, I hated myself at 22, and seeing myself now, and the confidence that I have, and the fact that I can talk to total strangers, and have conversations and do this, go online, because this is, I mean, if you're someone who is not the societal beauty, you're fat, you're not conventionally beautiful, you're not in 100 million other things, you are ridiculed and treated like shit on the internet. And the fact that I can do this and want to do it, enjoy doing it, even though I get the hate, would totally blow 22-year-old my 22-year-old self's mind. Oh, I cannot talk. Anyway, so yeah, the other thing, the whole comics as a job would really confuse me, because at 22 I did not have any drive or any plan other than the whole, publish a book and get married, have kids. I had no thing. I'd actually graduated from college at 18, and I'd worked as a graphic designer for years, and at 22 I'd stopped. I wasn't doing anything. And the whole working, the fact that I'm living on my own, taking care of my own bills, taking care of my life, would totally blow my own mind at that age. And the fact that I'm working towards something like working at comics as a full-time job would totally be off, just something from left field to me at that age. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things, a lot of pain, a lot of things that I've gone through in the last 10 years that have changed me. And there are things about myself that I'm not happy that I've developed, I've become, whatever, those things I'm working on changing. But overall, like 95% of what I am now, I'm unbelievably happy with and content with and ecstatic about. And I think that if myself at that age had seen me, a good bit of her feelings would be, wow, look how far I've come. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say, and I guess I'll see you guys next week.